Ladies and gentlemen, it now being 7 o'clock, the regular meeting of the Orleans Zoning Board of Appeals is called to order. Present tonight, myself, the chair, Michael P. Marnick, also members William McCarthy and Matthew Cole, associate members Peter Jablin, Bruce Taub, and Gerald Mulligan. Also in attendance is the board secretary Sandy Stewart, and excused is the building commissioner of the town of Orleans, Tom Evers. A bit of housekeeping. The minutes of the board meeting of June 1st, 2016 were circulated in the usual fashion by email, and it would be appropriate to entertain approval or corrections to the minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes of the June 1st, 2016 meeting? And is there a second? Now, is there any commentary upon the minutes?
Having not been present, I felt well informed by the quality of the minutes. Thank you, Madam Secretary.
Thank you.
I'll echo that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? The motion carries unanimously. Tonight's business consists of two items, and we'll take them in numerical order. First item was continued from the last meeting. The second is the application of Marshgate Limited. In case number 2035, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, we are.
Very well. And Mr. Landreth, are you ready to proceed? Then I'll call case number 2034, the application for of G. Anthony Davis and Robert Davis for amendments to his previously granted special permit and variance as set forth in General Laws, Chapter 48, Sections 6 and 10 under Orleans zoning bylaw, Sections 164-21A, 164 3C2 and 164-43-2 to relocate water-sensitive technical equipment by means of an upland addition and construction of a partial second story for a sail loft. The property is located at 1444 Aries Lane, Orleans, map number 62, parcel 67. The hearing was commenced on June 1st, 2016, with the following members in attendance. Myself, D. Beth McCartney, who's excused. Matthew Cole, who was present. Gerald Mulligan, who was present. And Peter Jablin, who was present. Members Bruce Taub and William McCarthy were not present. Have either of you reviewed the minutes, the video transcript of that hearing? Very well. Mr. Landreth,
Yes, sir.
you want to proceed?
Is
We've got four
Ms.
members.
McCartney was part of the earlier board.
She was. No action was taken.
Could I ask a quick question?
Yes.
Is this in reference to 44 Aries Pond?
Yes.
Because I well remember the initial hearing when we granted the application.
It has some bearing, but it comes to us now as an amendment, as if it were brand new, piggybacking on the former special permit and variance. I think that since there was no action, that the members, we have 6 members present, that myself, Mr. Cole, Mr. Mulligan, Mr. Jablin, and Mr. Taub, Mr. McCarthy can consider this. So we do have a quorum of 5.
Bill was out.
Are you,
Bill was out last meeting.
I know that, but I don't want to make a difference, so there's no, I'm saying that you can, you'll have a quorum of 5 for this.
actually de novo?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I do have Bruce's, maybe not as well, but I have a memory of the prior case as well.
I think it's part and parcel of
Okay.
this.
Mr. Chairman, I'm uncomfortable proceeding with my limited presentation tonight because of the stature that this comes to you before. Perhaps you might accommodate me with the 4 people who sat and then take a straw poll if necessary, and we could continue it from there to the not comfortable proceeding with those members who have not had an opportunity to review the record of what took place 2 weeks ago. I didn't hear that they had indicated that they were up to speed with regard to.
No, there was no indication of that at all. Mr. McCarthy's the only one that falls in that category. All the other, the four members, other members were here.
Well, as I say, I presented my case in chief the last time. At this point, I think that there is a resolution. Perhaps we can proceed on that basis with 4 members.
This is what I really wanted to hear. Now, is any member of the board who's present tonight has had any communication with the applicant or any of the applicant's agents, or for that matter, any opponents to this application that would give rise to a conflict of interest that should otherwise be disclosed at this hearing? Mr. Jablon.
I visited the premises and was directed by an employee to see the actual site.
Very well.
That's all.
You didn't speak with the applicant?
No.
All right. Let the record reflect that Mr. Jablon took a view, and no evidence was taken. Then, hearing no positive response, I declare that all members of the board, in particular those 5 who I've designated to consider this tonight, are impartial and indifferent. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir.
For the record, my name is Dwayne Landgraf. I'm the attorney for the Aries Pond Boatyard, who is the applicant here. With me tonight is Robin Davis, the owner, and Peter Higgins, who is the builder with regard to this project. Last time we proceeded, and we had a good discussion. During the course of the discussion, one of the neighbors indicated that they had serious concerns about privacy and about the mass of the new structure. As a result, we went back to the drawing board in consultation with that, and Mrs. Healy is present to speak for herself. Essentially, what we did with the design of it is to lower the eave on the front of the house and do a salt box roof, so that it's a knee wall that you're looking at before the roof goes up, and then as the roof goes up, it's perhaps 4 feet or thereabouts further away at each elevation from somebody who's perceiving it, and as a result, it doesn't read as large as it did before. You have a set of plans in 9 pages, which are AO site roof plan, A1, A2, S1, A7, A3, A4, and A5. You can see this best in the profile on the second sheet labeled site. Where the eave line is down below the eave line of the office. And then at A5, the right elevation, which the numbers that I came through, it happens to be the last one. If you look at that, you can see the salt box effect of the roof of the workshop, the expanded roof of the workshop. So you see that the eaves are at different levels, front and back. So if you remember, the original plan had the line of the roof at the same elevation as the line of the office, if you understand that. I'm referring to A5. Also on A7, which is the cross-section, if I remember, from that's the second to the last page. So you can see there the cross-section of the office, and behind it the signet lane facing roof of it. That shows the relationship between the 2 roofs. So when I referred to the distance, the cross-section distance from the roof line of the current workshop to to the roof line of the proposed office, that's what it was before. So you can see the distance it's moved back at every point of elevation.
Excuse me, Mr. Landris, let the record reflect that Beth McCartney has joined the meeting.
Sorry.
Beth McCartney was in attendance on June 1st when you first presented this application to the board. Thank you.
So, Mr. Chairman, do you want to designate, I can go back over what I've covered, which is pretty straightforward.
Yes, please do.
All right.
And I've designated Ms. McCartney to continue to consider this application as an extension of what the other four members heard, four designated members heard on June 1st. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
to reiterate, you recall the meeting at the last time, we had a full presentation and a discussion. There was a neighbor present who had concerns with regard to this structure because of its impact on privacy with regard to the location of windows, as well as the wall and the roof of the proposed expanded workshop reading as massive. We went back to the drawing board and redesigned it. You have a set of plans that are in 9 pages before you in the order that they are. They're AO, site roof plan, A1, A2, S1, A7, A3, A4, and A5. What has been done with regard to it is to put the windows on the front at a knee wall level so that they provide elevation or provide illumination, but they don't, they're not windows that you're likely to look out of because they're at the top of the knee wall.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, with regard to the roof, we created a salt box roof by essentially dropping the front of the roof down approximately, 4 feet? 4 feet. So that, and that best shows up at
A5?
the one labeled site. You can see on the site plan, which is page 2, the location of the office eave, which was where the eave line was for the earlier proposal. It's dropped down 4 feet. Then if you take a look at A5, which is the last page, and it's looking at the right elevation, so-called, which would be the south elevation. You can see the roof line of the proposed new structure, the workshop structure, and it's down from the elevation of the office, which you can see there. So it's dropped down, and at every particular point that you look at it, it's 4 feet back from where it was before. So it reads as a less massive structure. Additionally, A7, which is the third to the last page, I think, shows it from the office, shows a cross-section of it from the office. So,
Has the abutter seen these?
yes,
Okay.
Mrs. Healy's here. We worked with the Healys to evolve this, and
Okay.
hopefully we have
Good.
an understanding that there is an agreement, but she can speak for herself.
Mm-hmm.
With regard to the Architectural Review Committee, we're still trying to sneak up on them. We anticipate, if we're successful here, going forward with that next week when they meet on the 23rd. As I indicated before, we had been there informally, and they had no particular problem with the structure. They approved of it informally. So with that, I don't really have a whole lot more to say, unless you have questions.
Is
So,
there
so what you're doing is the windows in the rear, there's 4 of them. In the front, in the front there are 3, but they have similar, this similar in appearance. The ones in the rear are further off the floor of the second floor, which is the sail loft. Is that the way it's designed?
Yes, it is. So the ones, essentially the ones on the, what would be the back of it, provide light at a more optimal angle. And you could look out there into the hill from that one.
Well, that was what I understood the applicants were saying from the very beginning, that the windows were particularly for the intrusion of natural light rather than for view.
Yes.
Ventilation.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you, Beth.
Okay, are there any reason why the garage doors are all different?
Well, my understanding is that the garage doors, the first door it has a different function. It's a paint spraying. So there may be, perhaps Robin could answer that question.
Or Pete, I think the bottom is gonna stay pretty much the way it is now. In terms of the layout,
Okay,
nothing's gonna change much on the first floor.
the way it is now? You're not changing the doors or anything?
Probably just improving them to look nicer, but.
If you, do you have the picture of?
Yeah,
the
I drove
existing,
by.
So you can see how those are the exact, so the architect drew the doors as they exist.
Okay.
Again, those, the light, those windows allow the natural light into that.
Okay.
Would you mind publishing that again?
And is the white tent gonna remain? It's
Okay,
big
Mike.
Oh,
white,
the hoop house?
yeah, the hoop,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's gonna be, and we're gonna make it smaller.
okay.
So we have to push it away from the corner of the existing building, about 6 feet, so we're just gonna shrink it.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any questions by any member of the board? Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this application? Let the record reflect that there were 3 letters previously received in evidence in support, and they'll stay in the file, although the plans have changed. Is there anyone wishing to speak in commenting on the application or in opposition to the application? You have every right to do so.
My name is Teresa Healy, and I know my husband was here at the last meeting, and he and Robin have met, and Tom became very ill this afternoon, couldn't be here, so that's why I'm here. So I'm kind of stepping in without all the background, but basically Tom said if this is what gets approved, he's much happier with this plan than the previous one. So
Good.
that this was acceptable.
Ms. Healy, if the board took action in approving this application, the plans as submitted to the board become pretty much engraved in stone, subject to whatever architectural review committee would see, and the building inspector would hold the applicant to the application. Any other questions?
I just ask for my own edification, the name of the architect on the project.
Mr. Landry?
I'll have to have Robin answer
Well,
that.
yeah, the designer is Will Rowland. He's sent to make plans in Boston.
My compliments to Mr. Round.
I'll let him know, thank you.
He certainly was responsive
Yes.
in a short
he's a
time
friend
frame.
of my brother's.
Very well, then, if there's nothing further, I'll close the hearing for the taking of evidence and ask for the sense of the board. Members of the board, the design changed somewhat because of the ability of the owners to employ a sailmaker or sail repairer, someone who deals with sails, and therefore needed an expanded area with which that contractor could work and has come in with a revised plan. It's being presented to us as it needs to be because needing a variance and a special permit. Some of us were considered this earlier and allowed the relief. I am in favor of this insofar as it doesn't appear that the applicants are using the original granted relief as a shoehorn to change the project radically. There's a good reason for this. The design's sensitive to the neighbors and the neighborhood, and it's consistent with the use of the locus for the boatyard. So I'm in favor of it. Ms. McCartney?
All in favor?
Mr. Mulligan? Mr. Cole?
As well?
And Mr. Jablon?
Yes. I think it's an improvement, dramatic improvement to the neighborhood. And that the builder, owner, really went out of their way to be accommodating.
Very well. Then I will entertain.
I should say, in keeping with the testimony that we heard last week too, of trying to be a good neighbor.
I agree. I'll entertain a motion to approve the amendments to the previously granted special permit and variance as contained in the application of G. Anthony Davis and Robin Davis, filed on May 6, 2016. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? And the motion carries unanimously. I will prepare the decision. Ms. Stewart.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Blandreth.
Thank you.
Mr. Marner, could I say one quick word?
Yes.
I also am genuinely appreciative. When I looked at that drawing for the first time, I thought, this looks like Old Cape Cod. And Ari's Boatyard is a significant attraction and entity in our town. And it's nice to see people who care about their property. Thank you.
And we care about the neighbors too, I think.
Yeah, no, absolutely, care about the town.
Yeah, that little
And
area
thank,
is-
Ms. Healy, thank you for coming forward. Thank you. It's why people like yourself need to come forward.
I wish your husband
Yes.
recovery.
Thank you. Yep. Bye-bye.
So you can all let your breath out because one of the moderators is leaving the room.
I'm a moderator.
Whoa.
You want these?
Save some of the gases.
I need one. Can I? Oh, he's gonna do the decision. Never mind. Never mind. I don't need it. No, I lied.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you guys?
Paid for the,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You got the other plans?
Probably
Yeah.
got some more.
We'll send some copy and more, you know?
Good luck on the July 4th deadline.
Yeah, no, I'll give you one more set, but I'm keeping this one.
Oh, you can keep going.
No, that's good, yeah. I have an alternate for that.
Believe me, I'm looking forward to building.
Yes, nice, we'll come visit you. When do you start? When do you think your start date is?
August.
You're talking
You
about
gotta
the
wait till like, because August is the slowest
No,
point
that
in
means
Boatyard.
Everybody's
So
out.
after the summer.
Sure.
All right. And I know you didn't consider it, you didn't hear it at the time.
Right. I try to just.
They're not in any hurry to do it, that's what I'm driving at. We shall now hear the application of Marsh Gate Limited for a special permit as set forth in general laws, chapter 48, section 9, under Orleans zoning bylaw, sections 164 3C, 164 21A, note 5, 164 43, and 164-44 to construct a shed resulting in building coverage which exceeds 4,000 square feet. The property is located at 34 Carlton Road, Orleans map number 82, parcel 1. Is there any member of the board who has had any communication with the applicant or any of the applicant's agents concerning the application, which would give rise to a conflict of interest or should otherwise be disclosed?
Before, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you were told that the Orleans Bowling Alley was gonna be meeting here tonight about
We got a
outdoor
certified
dining.
letter?
Is that on the docket?
It is-
Maybe
no,
upstairs?
I know that the board, I saw the note that the Board of Health is meeting upstairs. I don't know who else. All,
We got a certified
the
letter.
old,
Certified letter saying 15.
today's the
ZBA,
15th, of
not
course.
selectmen?
Zoning
Today
board.
is the zoning
Upstairs?
board.
Maybe it's the selectmen upstairs?
It's posted on the front entry of the meeting, somebody say on that.
If it's not posted on the public hearing, then we wouldn't have any right to hear it, and we're not going to either. I'm ignorant of it.
Good enough, thank you.
Okay?
Hi, Steve.
Hopefully they haven't already heard it.
Not having heard any positive response from any members of the board, then I declare that all members of the board present are indifferent and impartial. To hear this will be myself and the regular members, McCartney, Cole, and McCarthy, and Associate Member Taub. Mr. Little, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. David Little, representing Clifford and Jean Hampton. And with me is Tim Gamey, the general contractor and designer of the beautiful looking plans before you. We are here this evening to request a special permit to exceed 4,000 square feet of coverage on this residential lot. We presently have 3,576 square feet of coverage, and the Hamptons would like to build a train shed for their grandchildren. And the train shed counts towards 480 square feet. So the total building coverage on the lot, the resulting building coverage is 4,056, just slightly over the 4,000 square foot trigger in 164.21A. And that results in a total building coverage of the buildable upward of 6.1%. I provided you with a town GIS photograph or image of the area. If anybody had an opportunity to go to the site, they would have seen that the shed was staked right next to the existing tennis court. What the Google image or the GIS image shows you is there used to be 2 tennis courts. The Hamptons has since removed one, and just to give you a feeling of where the shed will be located, you can imagine it in the westerly of the 2 tennis courts shown on that plan. That's approximately where the shed's located. I just wanted to show you that so you can see the property to the north is well wooded. It doesn't impact the neighbor to the north. The Hamptons actually own the property to the west, and they get along very well with the Heisers, who own the property to the south. They actually share a common driveway to get to their properties. So that's what we're proposing, so I'm gonna go right to the criteria. The 1.72 acre site is adequate for the addition of the shed. The resulting building coverage is 6.1% of the buildable upland, which is well below the 15% allowable maximum coverage. The site is suitable for the new shed. The shed will conform to all dimensional requirements of the zoning bylaw. There will be no new impact on traffic flow or safety. There will be no impact on the visual character of the neighborhood. The only person that can see it is the neighbors to the south, the Heisers, who are very good friends of the Hamptons. The site has the benefit of a brand-new Title V sewage disposal system,